The Kingston Frontenacs had a very exciting offseason. This included the acquisition of goaltender and Memorial Cup winner Nolan Lalonde. He's joining a very youthful Kingston Frontenacs goalie corps and brings a lot of experience to the table. What's it like to be back in your hometown playing hockey for such a big team?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal, to be honest with you right now. I mean, I've gotten to put the jersey on once just for the black and gold game, or the white and gold game, sorry, and it was pretty cool. Like, it's, I mean, I know 6-year-old me that was coming here to watch games as a kid is definitely smiling, so it's special. It's a special place for me. I mean, I love Kingston.
Was there any sort of nostalgia coming back here?
Yeah, I mean, I've only played here once, which is the funny part, so for me it was kind of like the first time being on the ice here every day, and I mean, I can remember a bunch of moments just being here watching the Fronts play, whether it was, you know, Philip Grubauer playing when I was a kid. I grew up loving him, and watching that Linus Neiman overtime winner, I know exactly where I was sitting when that happened, so it's pretty cool to be back here and just have some of those memories too.
We also saw that you were over at the Columbus Blue Jackets training camp. Can you speak to your growth as a goalie and what that really means for you and what that camp did?
Yeah, I mean, those guys are amazing. Just the staff there has been super, super helpful for me. Kind of being able to, you know, learn from those guys, and then also the guys that are on the ice there that are in the NHL. And I think just taking steps every time I go just to kind of grow and bring stuff back here that I can put into my game both on and off the ice, whether it's, you know, how I warm up, how I work out, or, you know, how I execute stuff on the ice. It's really nice coming back here to kind of play with those things, and then we have a great staff here too that's kind of helped me and is working with them to kind of make the most of both staffs.
So you already more or less answered my question in that end, but what were the key takeaways that you had at that camp, and how are you going to go and transfer them to your first season with the Fronts?
Yeah, I think a lot of it for me was just habits and becoming a professional and treating this like not like it's junior but like it's pro was a big thing for them. And I mean, transitioning here, like, I mean, obviously Coach Mann and his staff does an amazing job running it like a pro team, and he wants to treat us like professionals, not like, you know, we're kids. So it's nice having those guys here and kind of pushing me every day to be better both on and off the ice. So yeah, that's kind of the way I'd say it.
That's perfect. And as, I guess, an overager, you're coming in with a lot more experience than some of the other players on the team. Does that give you any more mentorship or responsibilities towards other players, and how do you see yourself fitting into that role?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of funny because I remember being the guy that was coming in and having those older guys to kind of lean on. I mean, I hope that guys feel comfortable enough to come to me if they have questions, but I mean, we have a room that it's pretty open for discussion. I mean, there's nobody that's, you know, it's set in stone. These guys can talk and these guys can't. Everybody kind of has a voice, and that's one of the cool parts about being here and just the group we have. It's not just one or two guys that kind of have a voice. It's kind of everybody's a leader, and we want every single guy to kind of be able to have a voice and be able to say their piece, and then kind of go from there.
You talked about being in that same position that those new players are in now. Can you speak to any players that really sort of boosted you up and helped you along your way, or even a funny story that has really stuck with you?
Yeah, I mean, there was a guy in Erie when I was there, obviously my first year. He actually ended up playing for us that year. He stuck around kind of as a coach. He was going to be one of our overagers, Brendan Kishnick, and he was awesome for me. He's one of my best friends to this day, and I still talk to him probably almost every day if he's not annoyed with me. But yeah, he definitely helped me just with the transition to being away from home and kind of going through the trials and tribulations of not only just on the ice but off the ice too, right? Like school, hockey, you're away from home for the first time. It can get hectic, and yeah, having him there was really, really helpful for me. So he was awesome, and I mean, still to this day we're super close. So
I have a more specific question, so it might require a little bit more thought, but if you had a young hockey player, a young fan, you can really picture yourself even in the stands, and they came up to you and they wanted for your biggest tip as a goalie for what they should be practicing on and the best way for them to go and acclimate to this professional environment, what sort of advice would you be giving them?
It sounds really, really cliche. I mean, the first one's obviously just kind of take it day by day and have a short memory, because as a goalie, you're the only position on the ice where your mistakes end up with all the lights off and a giant siren going. So, I mean, the other thing would just be have fun with it. It sounds super, super silly to say, but honestly, when you're not having fun with it, then stuff starts to snowball. And I mean, I think most of the position as goalie is mental. So just being able to have fun with it and joke around and keep it pretty light, and then being able to also have those times where you need to be a little more intense and a little more focused, and kind of having a balance of that's probably the biggest thing I'd say.
Adjusting to this environment, is there anything different between this environment and anywhere else you've been? that big step up? And how do you keep yourself in check mentally?
I think it's kind of a group thing here. Like, we have kind of our values as a group, and they treat it. Corey talks about it a lot. It's a family here, and everybody kind of keeps each other in check, I think, pretty well. And I think kind of coming into this league as a younger guy, it was more so learning how to be a player at this level and being able to practice every day. Because in minor hockey, you don't have every day of practice. Sometimes you're practicing at 9:30 on a Tuesday, or it's 3:30. So here it's like you just kind of get into a routine and a schedule, and having that routine before you step on the ice and after is pretty huge for me. So that's kind of the biggest thing that I took when I kind of stepped in, and still carry with me now.
There's no secret. Goalies are notoriously supposed to be weird. Are you aware or unaware of anything that people consider your weird goalie quirk?
I don't know. I haven't had anybody tell me anything yet. There's definitely got to be something. I'm sure if you ask some of the other guys, they'd have something for sure, but I'd like to think I'm somewhat normal. I don't know. There's got to be something, though, as a goalie. Everybody has something, so that's probably more up to the guys to decide than me.
Well, thank you very much for your time, and I'm really looking forward to see how you do this season. Thank you for all your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.